Hello, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Break the Silence. I'm your host, Syborg. I sit before you right now, broken, broken-hearted, broken-spirited, broken-minded, I'm broken. My head hurts, my throat hurts, my heart hurts. We just got done watching Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. My Boston Celtics. And I can say without a doubt that that was the most painful game of my sports watching career. I still can't fully wrap my mind around what I just watched. Now, on this show, typically, I will look at things from a more analytical perspective. That's kind of what I like to do, but tonight is raw, unfiltered emotion. And I'd like to broaden the spectrum a little bit. As sports fans, as people who like sports, as people who watch sports, root for a team, anything like that, root for a player, whatever you do. As fans of sports, we are addicted to pain. We are addicted to suffering. We are addicted to anguish, to brokenheartedness, to jealousy, to sadness, to depression. We're addicted to all these things because if you look at it from a statistical perspective, your favorite basketball team has a 3.3% chance of winning the title if you take out all other factors, because there are 30 teams in the NBA. So that means that your team every year, you walk into it with a 96.7% chance that you're going to leave hurt. And yet you tune in all the time. And why is that? It's because you love to be miserable. It's because you love to be hurt. You love to be jealous of other people. You love spending your money to feel sad. And that's what we did tonight. As Boston Celtics fans, or myself at least, or whatever unless you're a fan of the Heat, I spent my whole day getting excited and getting hyped up. Got a big feast of a meal. I went and got donuts and snacks, met my dad for dinner as we celebrated to go watch Game 3 when the whole sports media world told me that the Boston Celtics were going to win this series, that it was over, that the Celtics were going to blow them out in Game 3, that the Heat had no chance, the Celtics were just the better squad. And so I was excited. And I can say that I've never been so let down in my life by a performance of a team who absolutely beat themselves. I could talk about the Celtics' 24 turnovers. I could talk about the fact that they let the Heat break the record for most steals in a playoff game with 19 steals. But why waste my time? If you watched it, you saw what happened. They fell apart. And this is why I can't buy into the Celtics. And is there a chance they pull this series out? Absolutely. Especially with the Jimmy Butler injury, we'll see what happens there. But can you be a championship team and have performances like this late in the season? Can you do it? I can't think back to a time when the case was yes, where you can have essentially no ball handler on the court most of the time. Jaylen Brown is a disaster with the ball in his hands, and he had 40 tonight, so I'm not going to sit here and trash on Jaylen Brown. But he had 40 points. The guy can't dribble the basketball. I don't know what he's been working on the last 6 years of his career and in college and high school, all these things. But it's unbelievable. Jayson Tatum played the worst game of his career since he's been a superstar. He was horrible. It just was what it was. You get excited all day to watch your team play, and immediately they're down 20 points in the first quarter, and you could just kind of feel what was going to happen. And I was screaming. I was sweating. I just couldn't stop sweating. So I'm dehydrated right now, so my head hurts. I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm not going to be able to watch any sports media stuff for the next 2 days because I'm going to have to go into hiding. Because I told someone at work that I'd bet him $1,000 that the Celtics would win the finals over the Warriors. That's what I told him. Luckily, he didn't take the bet. Luckily, he did not take the bet. But I'm hurting, guys. I still can't fully grasp everything I just watched. Now, we'll see what happens going forward. Like I mentioned with the Jimmy Butler injury, Smart rolled his ankle really bad. Tatum might have been faking that shoulder injury. I'm not 100% sure. But we'll see what happens there. And we'll see if Rob Williams is coming back for next game. But the problem with how the Celtics played tonight is that you have an opportunity to take a 2-1 lead. And in the NBA, with how talented some of these players are, you could go into next game and, yeah, you could win that game. But there's also a chance that Duncan Robinson comes out and hits 9 threes and just buries you. You know what I mean? So you have to take advantage of every game. He had 109 points, I think. They had 100 points with a minute left, and I think Celtics played the foul game. But you can't just throw games away, because next game they could play excellent. They could shoot the lights out, and it could be over. The Celtics played tonight. If they played this way tonight against Mo Bamba in the high-powered Orlando Magic, they would get their butts beat, because that's just not. You can't win with 24 turnovers. Their defense was horrendous for most of the game too. I don't know what. I love Ime Udoka, but I'm so confused by the defense that made them so successful the entire season, the number 1 defense in the league. They've completely abandoned. They were doing this switch everything defense that was working beautifully, and all of a sudden they've switched to a drop coverage, where if you don't know what a drop coverage is, it's when if Bam comes up and sets the screen, Al Horford, instead of switching on to the guy dribbling the basketball, will just drop to make sure that Bam doesn't get the roll. But it's just giving up wide open shots right off the screen. And that plays right into the Heat's hand, because they got Harrow, they got Jimmy Butler, and they got Kyle Lowry just coming right off that, and they're just getting wide, butt naked open shots. It's unbelievable. I just don't understand that strategy. But like I said, I'm flustered. I'm hurting. I'm sweating. I'm sweating again. I haven't stopped sweating for 3 hours. And I got to live with this. And you know what? I like this pain so much. I like the way I feel right now so much. So on Monday, I'm going to spend the whole day at work thinking, just get off work and then you get to watch your Celtics play again. Because I am an idiot. And I'm addicted to the pain.